Most drivers think changing an engine air filter is simple. Pop the old one out, drop the new one in, close the airbox, done. But what if I told you that changing it the wrong way can actually reduce horsepower, hurt fuel economy, trigger weird engine performance issues, and even shorten engine life? Not because the filter is bad, but because of how it's installed, sealed, and maintained. Today I'll show you the most common air filter mistakes drivers make, the one mistake that quietly causes the most damage, and a simple pro-level check that can save you from MAF sensor problems, expensive misdiagnosis, and wasted money. Stay to the end because I'll also share a quick tuner-style trick to improve airflow smoothly without turning your daily driver into a check engine light machine. Why engine air filters matter more than you think. Most people think an air filter is only about keeping dirt out. But in modern cars, the engine air filter is part of a system that controls airflow stability. Modern engines, especially those with a mass airflow sensor, MAF sensor, don't just need air. They need accurate airflow readings. Your engine computer uses those readings to decide how much fuel to inject, how to adjust ignition timing, and how the engine responds when you accelerate. So if airflow is disturbed, leaking, or misread, the car can feel sluggish, hesitant, inconsistent at light throttle, or simply not right. And here's the part most drivers miss. A slightly used air filter is not automatically worse than a brand new one. In real driving, a filter can build a thin dust layer that improves filtration efficiency without hurting performance. The goal is not replace early. The goal is replace at the right time and install it correctly. Mistake number 1. Installing the filter wrong or backward. This sounds too basic to matter, but it's one of the most common real-world errors. Many filters are directional. One side is reinforced with mesh or ribs to handle incoming air pressure. If you install it backward, the filter can deform, the pleats can collapse, and airflow can bypass the edges. That bypass is the real danger. Because unfiltered air isn't just air. It's fine dust and microabrasives. And that dust doesn't politely disappear. It goes straight into the intake tract and can accelerate wear over time. Quick fix. Before you close the airbox, look for an airflow arrow or directional marking. If there's no arrow, use this rule. The reinforced side faces the incoming airflow. Mistake number 2, ignoring the airbox. Here's a mechanic-level truth. If the airbox is dirty, your new filter job is already compromised. When you remove the old filter, dust often collects in the bottom of the airbox. If you install a new filter into a dusty airbox, that loose dirt gets sucked right back in and contaminates the new filter immediately. It's like taking a clean mask and pressing it into dirt before you put it on. Quick fix, 60 seconds. Use a shop vacuum to remove dust from the airbox. Wipe the sealing surface with a clean microfiber. Make sure nothing falls into the intake tube. This one habit extends filter life and helps keep airflow stable. Mistake number 3, a poor seal that lets dirt bypass the filter. Even the best OEM filter won't protect your engine if it isn't seated correctly. This is especially common on airboxes with snap clips. One corner doesn't fully clamp, the gasket doesn't compress evenly, and air sneaks around the edges. Here's what makes this scary. You won't always see it, because the dirt bypasses the filter completely. Quick fix. Before you latch the airbox, run your finger around the filter's rubber edge, confirm it sits flush, then close the airbox slowly and evenly. A 2-second check can prevent long-term wear. Mistake number 4. High-flow oiled filters without thinking about the MAF sensor. Now let's talk about the most controversial topic in the air filter world. High-flow oiled filters. You've seen them. K and N-style performance air filters, reusable cotton filters, and aftermarket intakes marketed as easy horsepower. Yes, some can increase airflow and improve intake sound. But there's a trade-off. In many setups, oil residue and fine particles can contaminate the MAF sensor, especially if the filter is over-oiled or installed improperly. And when the MAF sensor gets contaminated, the engine computer can misread airflow. That leads to Rough idle, hesitation, poor MPG, weird shifting behavior, and sometimes a check engine light. There are also real warranty considerations. Some manufacturers and service bulletins explicitly warn that over-oiled oil bath filters can contaminate MAF/MAF-IAT sensors and may not be covered under warranty. Best practice: if you run an oiled filter, you must maintain it correctly. Oil sparingly, never over-oil, and keep the intake tract clean. And if you ever clean the MAF sensor, only use dedicated MAF sensor cleaner. Harsh chemicals can damage sensitive elements. Mistake number 5. Replacing the filter too early or too late. Here's the truth. Replace every X miles is not always accurate. Your driving environment matters. Dusty roads, construction zones, heavy traffic, off-road, desert climate, or frequent short trips. In many cases, replacing a filter too early is just wasted money. Replacing too late can increase restriction and make the engine work harder to pull air. So what's the best approach? The mechanic flashlight test. Quick and accurate. Don't keep removing your air filter for no reason. Every time you pull it out, you risk damaging the seal or letting dirt fall into the airbox. Instead, use a bright flashlight. Shine it through the filter from behind. If you see a faint glow through the pleats, airflow is still decent. If it's basically blacked out with no light passing through, it's time to replace. This keeps the seal intact and prevents unnecessary handling, choosing the right air filter for your driving style. There isn't one universal best air filter. Here's the practical breakdown. 1. OEM paper air filters, best for most drivers. Excellent filtration, consistent performance, low risk, great for city driving and dusty environments. 2. Synthetic/dry performance filters, good middle ground. Better airflow than many paper filters, usually less risk than oiled cotton, good for mixed driving and moderate performance builds. 3. Oiled cotton performance filters, high maintenance. Can improve airflow and intake sound, requires careful cleaning and oiling. Higher risk of MAF contamination if over-oiled or poorly maintained. If your priority is engine longevity, reliable fuel economy, and low drama, OEM-style filters win most of the time. If your priority is performance and you're willing to maintain it correctly, then a performance filter may make sense. The key is matching the filter to your reality, not the hype. The tuner trick that helps airflow without drama. Here's a simple 2-minute airflow improvement that many experienced techs do. Remove the intake tube carefully and inspect for dust buildup, oil vapor residue, and gunk near resonator chambers. Wipe the inside clean with a microfiber. Reassemble and ensure clamps are tight. This doesn't add horsepower like magic, but it restores smooth airflow and can improve throttle response when the system has been neglected. Quick recap, so you don't forget. If you want your engine air filter to actually protect your engine and maintain performance, 1. Install it correctly, direction plus reinforcement. 2. Clean the airbox before installing a new filter. 3. Ensure a perfect seal around the edges. 4. Be cautious with oiled filters, especially with a MAF sensor. 5. Use the flashlight test to replace at the right time. 6. Choose the filter type that matches your driving style. If this helped you avoid wasting money or making an expensive mistake, subscribe to Best Car Tips. And quick question, have you ever noticed a difference in performance after changing your engine air filter? For better or worse? Drop your experience in the comments.